Welcome to Jared's Not Funny. I'm your host, Jared Christianson, and today I'm joined by one of my favorite recording artists in the Roanoke Valley. His name is FediiMillz. Fedi, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Jared? Welcome to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
It's great to see you. It's been a minute.
Yes, sir. It's been a while, but it's been all growth and learn.
Yeah.
Through the time we ain't been seeing each other.
Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I've been trying to stay active with the music. Like I said, I've been kicking it with my guy Anthony, A&T. Shout out A&T. But we've been making music here and there, but it's been more so about life going on right now. I did just go through like a custody battle with my first child's mother, and I ended up getting custody of my two kids, and then right now, so my oldest son is now living with me. So I've been just taking a little step back and just focusing on parenthood.
Yeah. That's what you got to do sometimes, right? Like,
oh yeah.
Sounds like you got your priorities.
Oh yeah, and it's been a struggle. The man above been definitely testing me. I won't say testing me, but blessing me. I'm gonna say that, blessing me.
I got you. So sometimes blessings are tests themselves, right?
For sure. Like I said, like I had a great job. I had a lot of great things going for me, but at the same time, I wasn't there in my head space. Like my mental wasn't right. So he just been taking the negative things out of my life, just to make sure I focus on what I needed to be focusing on.
Yeah.
So.
Well, congratulations on getting custody of your kids.
Yes, sir.
I know that, as being a great parent, right? Like you got to make sure that you have your kids around so that you can influence them properly, right?
Oh yeah. And I gonna say parenting is pretty hard, but but as a father, I'm not gonna show it, So it's definitely day by day. I've only been a father as long as my oldest been a child, so
yeah.
It's definitely learning every day. Like I said, I just got my oldest son, got him into school. He's doing sports and activities, so it feels good. But like I still be in my head sometimes. So
yeah, absolutely. So do you find like whenever you're going through these types of things, do you see that as an opportunity to like maybe pull from some of that and put it into your writing?
Oh yes. So that's what really be taking me so long to put the pen to the pad. Like, 'cause a lot of time I just go in there because I feel good. Like, yeah. But when I'm really like trying to make some music, like it takes some time because like I feel like I have to go through some things, like or have some type of trial and errors, like downfall, some L's,
Yeah.
Before I can start writing about my pain. But that's really the only way I can get it out when I do feel the pain is to put it down on the pen. But that time haven't came. That's probably gonna be the next time I'm serious in the studio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know what it is for me, but it's like I could never write a song unless something was messed up in my life. I always found it very easy to like get that emotion out. It was almost kind of like, the best drug or medicine that I could give myself was to write about it and get it out.
I agree. That's what like I recently just, like I said, a lot has changed, so I just downsized my home. I'm into an apartment now, so I don't have my studio inside my place now. So I can't just, I used to just, so it's a kick in my mind, I'm down there writing and I'm down there recording, but now it's like I gotta think about it, or be on my head heavy until I go to the studio and let it all out. And I haven't really been going to the studio as much as I used to. Like now, I went the other day, we made some, just joking around or just vibing, we made some music, but I haven't really opened up my feelings right now into the music.
Yeah. Do you find it relaxing to go in there and just kind of vibe and just kind of make, not necessarily what you're going through, right? You're not necessarily ready to put that, to paper, but to just go into a studio session and just kind of, like you said, right? You're just vibing. You're not necessarily concentrating on things that are going on right now, maybe previous experiences,
right? It always feels good. Like my brother here with me today, like he always come in there and try to change up the scenery. Like, I have a certain style of music that I like to do, and he always come in like, hey man, try this style or make this what they call YN music, like just enjoy, just to be in a enjoy space. Like He tried to encourage me to try to make different type of music, because every time he's in there with me, he know I'm either talking about something I'm going through or some pain that I'm feeling. So he like, bro, like you got to make some other type of music if you want to smile, if you want to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't only talk about the bad, talk about the good too.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. When you're working with, who'd you say you're working with now?
Me and Anthony A&T.
A&T, okay. So you started working with him how long ago?
See, it's funny because like I've been doing music for a long time in this city, but he also has for so long, and we just knew about each other, and we never really like inbox or hey, you want a feature or anything like that. It was just so random. Like, I broke my phone and I put on Facebook, hey, who got a phone? And he just reached out, hey, I got a phone, and he brought it to me, and I was like, you A&T, right? He was like, yeah, and we locked in from that day on. Like, that's really how we met.
Wow.
Off him just coming and bringing me a phone that he just had laying around, and I told him, as long as you need a studio, I got you. And that's where my studio is at now, at his place. So like, we all, ever since that day, we was like locked in and with the music. We got at least over 100 tracks together.
Oh,
and
wow.
And it's a lot of like, I can't even explain it, but it's all vibey. Like, it's all a good feeling. Like, all our music it's really fire. We collab so well together. So like, he's almost like my right hand man, other than my brothers and stuff like that. But and I can call on him for whatever. He's there, So it's bigger than the music with us.
It's amazing how you meet people sometimes, and it's like you were saying, right? Like, that's a blessing. Right?
It definitely was.
I mean, that's just a random thing where phone breaks, and the next thing you know, you got this guy, and you guys are recording music together.
Yeah.
That's kind of being open to whatever the world's going to throw you, right?
Right, and I'm not really like, it's got to be genuine, like for me, like all my best pals or guys I call friends or good people like yourself, it's always been genuine since I met you, like that's, we locked in from day one. So like,
yeah,
if I don't get that type of vibe when I bump into you or run into you or meet you, then like it's not going to be the same. I don't really like call friends, because today era is you never know who's your friend.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And the crazy part about that story for him is that he didn't know you. He knew about you, right? Like, but he just said, someone's in need. Let me go fulfill that need because I have the ability to, right? That's a beautiful thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
And he's genuinely that type of person, like myself. Like, I would have done the same if someone asked me and I had it to spare. So, like, and we do so much for each other. That's with all my friends and guys. Like, if they need and if we got, we're going to do. Like, that's just the motto. So
I've always gotten that vibe from you, I've always gotten that vibe from anybody that you've brought into the studio. It's like, it's such a cool feeling to be around a bunch of people that are just rooting for each other.
It's just not, it's all love. It's definitely always love.
Yeah. Like, we've been in the studio before and had those magical moments where we're listening to playback of, something that somebody did, and it wasn't necessarily even your track, but everyone's just hyping everybody up.
Right. And I believe like the first or the second time I came to your studio, and I remember telling my guys, I was like, bro, this really feels like support. Like, this really feels like, like, because usually, like, you'll find a group of guys and all of them trying to rap, like, even though all my guys do music, but it's like, when it's your turn, and everybody's going to support you and vice versa. So it's always been like that. But when I first came to your place, I told my guys, I said, this is support, this is love. I just saw how you and Kobe at the time, it was Demi recording, and how y'all just uplifted him, how y'all just was like so much there around the support. And each track, like, you would play back 10 seconds of a track for 30 minutes to making sure, like, I watched, like, I'm like, bro, this is real, like, and this is what I want. And like, ever since that day, I was like, no, we gotta have it that way, support each other like that heavy.
Yeah. The most magical moment that I've ever had in the studio, you were there, right? So this was maybe a week after the George Floyd incident, right? And I'll never forget, like, Demi showed up, you showed up. It was like we probably had 8 to 10 people in the studio. Right. And Demi had laid down that track, and he wanted me to do this outro with a YouTube video of the young girl. And I'll never forget that day because, man, it wasn't a, like, hype up time, right? It was just, I got something to say, right? And I remember just sitting there listening, right, to the final product, because I kept my headphones on for a reason, right? I didn't want y'all to hear it, you know. I didn't want y'all to hear the kind of how I was chopping it up at the end. I'll never forget at the very end of that song, just looking around, and all of us are kind of getting teary-eyed just because of what was, you know, it was a moment that we all shared together where it was just like, man, I think what that song represented to me and what that moment represented to me was we all come from different backgrounds, yet we all just are nothing but love.
Yeah, I remember exactly what you're talking about that day. I remember it like it was yesterday. Hearing that track, and when that soundtrack came on, from the beginning to the end, it was definitely fire. But when she started speaking, and the we all was just like there, like it was so amazing, and the feeling, like no one even knew they would feel like that, but everybody felt the same in that one room.
Yeah,
definitely did.
I agree. Yeah, that was a beautiful thing, man. Music can bring people together. You know what I mean? Like, and that was a moment where I felt it. Yeah, you know, that was just. It was just awesome.
That's one of the reasons, like, when I ran into him, like, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, bro, when is the tape going to drop? Like, bro, you got some fire. And it's been, like, I'm like, bro, it's, like, going on, like, 3 years, man.
Yeah.
Like,
release your shit, Demi.
Yeah, release that.
We're ready for it, okay? The world is ready for it. I mean, we've been sitting on it for quite a while. And that would bring up another point, right, is how important is it for an artist, right? Because I know you come out with songs, right?
Right.
Yeah. How important is it to, like, to be okay with it not being perfection, because it's never going to be perfect,
right? And for me, it's funny you say that. For me though, like, someone really gotta tell, like, for me to release a track, someone, like, gotta tell me, hey bro, when you gonna release that? Like, or like, bro, you need to release that, because I'm my biggest critic, and I, like, think, like, most artists, they're their own critic.
Yeah.
But, like, for me, like, if it ain't just something I'm like done listen to 1,000 times, or just dropping to just release some music, have something out there, it's gotta be like someone gotta show me interest in it for me to release the music. But for Demi, that album is an album.
It is an album.
That is an album.
Yeah.
From start to finish, from track 1 to track whatever the last. I'm like, bro.
Well, and the funny thing is even like the big acts right now, right? Like, they'll just release 3 songs, right? And, like, as a fan, as a listener, for me, I love that. I don't care. You don't need. We're not in the album era anymore. I don't think. Right? We're in the singles era. Like, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go on Spotify and listen to your whole album.
Right.
I'm just not. Like, but if you just come out with a single every week, I'm probably gonna come across it and be able to listen to it.
And you're gonna get more views, you know, like, because the way today is, like you said, I'm not about to go through and listen to your whole album. No, I'm gonna find the right track that drove me to this album, and I'm gonna constantly keep listening to it.
Yeah.
But there's so many platforms today that allows that to happen, you know, like TikTok and stuff like that. Yeah, but it's more so, like you said, a single era. It's definitely a single era.
Yeah.
But, like, some artists, like the big ones, like, they'll come out with a lot of singles, you know, throughout the year. Then they'll throw it all on and call it a deluxe album or something like that.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, but it makes it a little bit more, a little bit easier to take in. Mm-hmm. You know, I want sometimes to listen to a full album, but I got to be honest with you, my attention span isn't what it used to be.
Right.
You know, and it's like after 5 seconds, if you don't have me hooked from the very beginning, I'm out.
Say that.
Like, I'm rolling out, you know. So, you know, and I think that's a lot of listeners now, you know, because we just have so much access to so many things.
Right.
You know.
Right. And a lot of the like you said, like, just the 5-6 seconds of it, but a lot of it is like the way they do it, promote now, is they play like the hottest 5-6 seconds of the track and just let it surface the web, and, you know, and then that's how they get that stuck in their head, and now they're going to go search the song because they so attracted to this 5-6 seconds of the song, they want to know the rest of the song.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really do that with the album. You know, yeah, you can get someone to go download your album because of this single, but nowadays you can just download the single. You don't need to download the whole album.
For sure. Yeah. When what was the last track you released?
The last track I released was called I'm Him. That was the last single. I know me and Anthony had released a track called no, I released I'm Him, different. That was with the guy out in Blacksburg that does like he does these little showcases and stuff like that. He had jumped on one of my tracks, and that I released that also. But other than that, there been with tracks with me and Anthony that I've released it recently.
Okay, so fun-filled question here: live or the studio? Which one do you like more?
I gotta say the studio, only because like when I'm live, I tend to listen to my music more than performing. So like a lot of like when I'm on stage or something in my past, you would think I just forgot my words, but I'm listening to it and it's kind of reminding me why am I even saying this stuff. So it's like it brings me right back to the time of what I'm speaking about when I'm listening to it. So that's why like when I do perform songs that I actually put like some truth in my feelings into it, I don't like to perform because of that moment. I'll get up there and I'm like,
transport you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's with a lot of artists, you know, where you'll catch them, you know, if it's an emotional song, you know, you'll catch them, you know, kind of tearing up or choking up during, you know, performing it live.
That's what I do so often. But when I'm vibing, like me, like I said, me and Ant, because we've been recording together for like 3 years, so that's why. In the last 3 years, we done made over 100 tracks. So we usually do like 3 tracks every time we link up or whatever. But we have this thing like we just go back and forth. Like that's how we always start. We'll get in there and like I might do a few bars and he'll like I'll do something and then we do it. Before you know, like the track is finished. And I learned another thing, like you know, like a long tracks like that's more than like 3 minutes. Like it's too much. You know what I'm saying? Time consuming for someone to be listening to this long track. So we try to stick into like the 2 minute 30 seconds, you know, something like that. So it's like when the track go off, they're like, oh, I thought it was more, you know, that feeling like, you know what I'm saying? Like how Rod Wave do, he'll give you one verse and a hook, and then you like, dang, I gotta rewind it. I gotta play it back.
Yeah.
You know, like, so that type of effect is really smart. But we try to stick into that time frame with our type of music.
I got you. Up to this point, and I know, you know, just with the one person, you've already done 100 tracks with them, but your favorite song that you've ever been on or that you've written, what's the FediiMillz favorite? My
favorite track has to be, I have 2 favorite tracks, but they're, you know, you recorded, well, I did the video in your studio.
Yeah.
That was Sorry Not to See You Later and Finesse. Because Finesse is like my kid's favorite track and my nieces and stuff. So whenever I'm around them, like they don't let me forget that track. You know, my niece, she probably message me every day talking about I finesse the fam. Like she's so funny. But my youngest son, TJ, he's real life my biggest fan. Like he goes on YouTube and listens to all my music, and surprisingly, he knows it. He's only 4 years old. But he's like my biggest fan with but Finesse and Sorry Not to See You Later. Cause Sorry Not to See You Later was like I really, from start to end, it was really my life. Like I was really talking about my life. So that's probably my favorite. Yeah.
While we're talking about these songs, these can be found on like Spotify and stuff.
Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. You know, anywhere you type it in, FediiMillz, FediiMillz. On all platforms, you can find my music.
Nice. Yeah, I just want to make sure if we mention any song titles, you know where to find them.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So what do you see kind of in the next year or two? Like, what's your goals? Like, what are you working towards?
Like I said, I'm still on the growth with the parenthood. I love music. Don't get me wrong. But
Sure.
It's never been like a dream for me. Like as far as like making it on a big stage or something like that. I just enjoy it and I love it, and the knowledge that I do grow from it. I could have took that route, trying to go mainstream with it and stuff like that. Like I had a little management deal with Def Jam and things like that, and I was doing a lot of shows at one point, and I was rubbing elbows with a lot of people, but I just I never felt the urge to like want it more than what I was doing. At first I was just booking these shows because I wanted my guys to, like to have us to have something to do, stay together, a bond, like support. Like, so I will always book these shows and stuff like that to have us all together at the time. But now that we all grown, we got our own lives, like, now I'm just doing the music because I love music, when it's not to be heard. It's just real life to express myself, because I don't talk a lot, to other people. I don't really vent too much, so I do it through the music.
Yeah.
And then either me, him, and Anthony, like, we'll be in the studio and we sit there vibing. If one of us three was like, want to release it, we'll release it. But as far as any outside, like, no.
Yeah. I have to say, I'm kind of the exact same way, where I've never wanted to be the person on stage, right? Mm-hmm. I never wanted to. I've written quite a few songs, but like I said, those songs were to kind of get me through that.
Right.
And it's also too, there's something healing about it, to be able to go back at that moment in time that you've basically documented yourself, right? And putting it in your own words. And it's like, if I want to talk to 10 year ago me, all I gotta do is put on this track.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's basically just more of a documentation, or just kind of
and being, like, as you engineer yourself, so like you hear the progression in your music, like from when you started, because I do mixing myself, so like hearing the stuff that I've learned over the time, the quality of the music that I'm performing and stuff like that. Like I listen to some of my old tracks and I'm like, dude, and then I listen to some today, I'm like, but either one, I'm hyped about both, because like I still don't believe sometimes I'll hear a track, I'm like, I can't believe I said that, or I can't believe I did that, like mixed it this way or something like that. Like, so hearing and seeing your progression throughout the years is always a hype for me. So
yeah, and I know with your studio, you weren't always just recording FediiMillz, right? You were recording, all your friends, and so that gives you even more reps in order to get better at your craft. So that and I know you, right? You're trying to take care of those tracks, right? You're trying to make them sound as good, if not better, than your own.
Right.
Because when you do that, when you selflessly do that, that's when you learn the most, right?
Right. And I even like learned a few tips from you, like. Like when I'm coming to your studio, like I know I'll be hovering over you, but like I'll be watching like just how you order either you ordering your effects or your presets and stuff like that, and just the little things you would do to get like your music leveled out, your mastering and stuff like that. And I took a lot of tips from you and like went back home like and just tried it, played around with it and stuff like that. I know you was using Pro Tools, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm on the Logic, but music is music,
Mm-hmm.
So like I definitely learned a lot from you. But like you said, yeah, I recorded a lot of people in the city. At one point, that was all I was doing. I wasn't working. I was just promoting the studio, recording people like that. And but I've grown I've grown out of that, because like my most loyal customers, like I'll offer them packages like, hey, I can just build you a studio and I can give you the like the program, and I can give you the setup to you where you don't have to travel, and if you really do need me, you can just send me the track and I'll edit it, but you can do the recording at your home. So I gave them like the blueprint, like I got them Max, I got them Logic, I got them like the presets and the softwares that I use and stuff like that. And I didn't really charge them too much at all for the whole setup, for the computer, the programs, and all that. Like the program alone is like $200.
Sure.
So like I really, it was just because I know they love music and they was like really supporting me. So I was showing them like, hey, like don't pour all your money into my pockets. Like I'm gonna give you some knowledge if you want to take it. Hey, you can do it this way, and if you still need me, you can just call me. I'll show you the ropes. You know, so like that's why I really don't record anymore, because most of the guys that I used to record now have their own studios. You know? So if they really need me, they'll just send me tracks. Like my guy, Molly SG, all the way in Lynchburg. He's a great guy. He grown so much from the day that he started recording with me. He met me through someone else, and then we just locked in because I saw his passion for the music. You know, he was the first one. Hey, let me get that set up. You know, like I'm all the way in Lynchburg. Like sometimes I don't even want to drive. Yeah. I'll just send you the track. Can you know? And within within a month, like, he stopped calling me. He just started, hey, jump on this.
Yeah.
You know, and
it
was just like that. So like DeVille, you know, remember like
absolutely
DeVille, like he still, you know, he makes tracks from here and there. You know, he still has his own studio. And then Hothead, you know, he got his own studio also. You know, so everybody, all the guys that I used to come around, that bring around, they all have their own studio. I set them all up, you know, but and now they all know the same knowledge that I know, you know, so I kind of just fell back a little bit now that they all set and stuff like that. But I try to get in the studio with all of them, like every once in a while. Like I said, everybody's grown now and got their own life and responsibilities.
Yeah, but there's just nothing like having a bunch of people in the studio.
It's not.
Oh man, the energy, just everyone feeds off of everyone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like some of my favorite sessions have been for 4 to 6 people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there is such a thing as too much. Right. It can be distracting. But I think if you got 4 to 6, you know, artists that are kind of going for the same things, and everyone can be working on something, that's fine.
Right.
You know, everyone's waiting their turn in order to go. I just think it's fun, you know, and it's like everyone is kind of trying to not even compete in like, you know, competitive, but it's like, man, I have seen it to where like, man, I know this guy wants to sound as good as this guy. And someone might just be clipping that day. Right. Like they get on the mic, and there is a difference between like, you know, delivering the words in a special way and just delivering the words. Right. So I always like it whenever, you know, you get that first person, that lead off guy in, and he's just, I mean, just giving it, and it inspires everyone else.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I like, for me, like I like to be that person, you know, like usually,
I know
like,
you do.
Like I like to be that person, like soon as Ant kick on the beat, you know, like I have something cooking right then and there, you know, and then I'll be like courteous, and I'm like, hey bro, what do you got? Like what you got rolled down? He's like, wow, what do you got in your head? And then I'll just, you know what I'm saying, I'll just let them hear what I got in my head, and usually 90% of the time that's usually be how we started off.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. That is awesome. So let me ask you this: how old are your kids?
My oldest is 12, 10, 9, and 4.
Okay. Any of them? I know you said that they like your music, or they love your music, right? Because that's dad.
Right.
Any aspiring musicians?
Like my youngest daughter, Kamani, she's just a dancer. Like she can't stay still. Kendrick, I really can't say. Or Kalia, she's a beauty queen. And my oldest son, Kendrick, he just loves sports. But my youngest son, I think he's going to be the one.
Yeah?
Yeah, because he loves music. Like, he be knowing music before I know the music. So,
yeah, I
feel like he is, even though I haven't had the studio around so much. But when I did, he liked to be on the mic.
I mean, he'd have a heck of a teacher. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's another reason why I still try to learn and grow. Because what if they... You know, someone say, hey, I want to pick up a mic. Hey, I want to do this. And I'm like, okay, I got the knowledge to do that.
Absolutely.
You know,
No, that's great. And, you know, your kids, do you know much about dancing?
I used to, it's funny, though? Like, I used to dance in high school. You know, with, like, the jerk jerking, like New Boys and like like I used to with a few of my friends, and we did a few talent shows and stuff like that. So yeah, I actually used to dance a lot. Yeah,
I can tell you this right now. You don't want me on the dance floor. No. Like, I'm telling you right now, you don't want me on the dance floor. I'm gonna do one move. It's called the worm. I'm just gonna and it's gonna. We might call it the snail because I gained a little bit of weight since then. It's, you know, but still, like you don't want me out on a dance floor, bro.
Hey, that used to be the move back in the day, though.
Oh yeah, no, that was the party move.
Yeah,
I had to learn it. You know,
you bust that out, I'm just going like, I'm probably gonna worm with you.
And it's a dangerous move, I gotta say, because you can as you're doing it, you know, you can squish some stuff.
Yeah.
It's happened at parties before, but you know what? You gotta act like it didn't happen.
No, I done hit a hip bone. I done forgot things was in my pocket and punched for myself.
Oh my gosh!
I definitely know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, so what's the? Can you? This is gonna be a weird thing, but like, can you do a backflip?
I cannot.
Okay,
I'm not gonna lie.
I can't either. I was just gonna say, like,
on a trampoline, yeah.
Yeah, the last party I was at was a wedding, and they were doing. There was this one guy, and he did a backflip into a split, and he was dancing and stuff. And I was like, "Listen, I can do the worm, but I backflipping to me just I don't understand the mathematics behind it. You know,
that's not even a dance move.
Yeah, no. When he did it though, I was like, I'm not gonna do the worm. I'm gonna back down from doing the worm because that's nowhere near as cool as a backflip into a split.
Nah,
he stole my thunder, dude.
You can't compete with that.
No.
Because how for one, how are you doing that? No.
Yeah. And landing into a split, like I question that he didn't have like his stuff duct taped or something. Because, I mean, I can't even do half a split.
I can't do half a backflip. So yeah.
Yeah, I could do half of one. I can land flat on my back like nobody's business.
My neck.
Yeah, I can power bomb myself. Heck yeah. Yeah. I used to try to do backflips at the swimming pool like that and I could never do it.
It was always like my fear. I don't know why. Like I can do it on a trampoline, or I can do it off the side of the pool, or whether it is the jumping board. I can do it off of those things. Like jumping off the ground, knowing that the ground is what I gotta land on.
Yeah, and you got to land on your nuts, nevertheless.
Yeah, I don't know how he did that. He's been doing that for years. He
has to. Like, that guy has to wake up in the morning.
That is his move.
It's the first thing he does. I know if I could do it, that I would wake up and just, like, stand up on my bed and do a backflip straight into a split. And just be like, today's going to be my day. Today's going to be awesome.
Oh, they ain't seen nothing. Watch this. Yeah.
Could you imagine that dude having like a one-night stand? You know what I mean? And like, it wakes up the next morning with the girl and he just does a backflip out into a split. He's like, "What's up, girl?"
Like, yeah.
I'm going to make you breakfast.
Yeah, no. Something with that.
Yep. Oh, man. So, what else has been going on? Like, as far as with your life, like, what was the last place you traveled to?
Well, I did kind of like just move to South Carolina.
What?
Yeah.
You moved to South Carolina and you're here?
Yeah. Am I ready to talk about that? No.
You don't have to?
Nah. Yeah. I had like a situation with another spouse, with another partner or whatever, and I was moving down there with that situation, but it didn't go as planned.
Okay.
And
I've been there, brother.
Yeah. So I ended up coming back here, kind of to get things rolling, because like I said, God did take a lot away from me. Like my job, I did get laid off. Well, a lot of people of us got laid off at the job I was just at for 3 years. So I did get back here, but I did find a new job. So I'm currently working at this new place. I was having car trouble. It was just seeming like everything was happening at once.
Listen, hey, That is what life does.
It was kicking my ass. You
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah. But you know what? That's when you're your strongest, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's where strength really does come from. When everything just feels like it's crumbling around you,
Right.
you know, and you just got to keep on keeping on.
And yeah, exactly. And I've never been the one to complain about anything. Just based off of, 'cause every time I like getting like my back against the wall or anything, like I think about like my mother, like, and the only reason I say that because she really had 10 children, you know. My mother got 10 children, 7 boys, 3 girls. You know, I've never heard that woman complain. You know, like,
Wow.
And I didn't even know what struggle was, you know, and until I was an adult, you know, because she never really showed it, you know. So like, we moved so much from here and there, but at the same time, me as a child, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
You know, like we stayed in like shelters and like missions, but to me, like, I did not know. Like, she done like poker face. When that woman has a mean poker face, like, I did not know we was going through anything. So like, I'm more comfortable with my back against the wall, like, cause like when you at the top, where all you can go is down, you know. So like, I'm really comfortable at my lowest. Yeah, I might, cause like any like a man is a man. Like when they feel like they can't either like provide or take care of something, like it's always gonna be a lot of weight on your shoulders. Like it don't necessarily have to be something, but it's like a lot of weight that you create yourself because you know what you could be doing or need to be doing at this moment. You know, so like and that was like the most thing that was really like tearing me apart, because like I'm seeing things go. But I know me, I'm not going to give up. And I know, like, I never gave up. So it's like, if I've done it once, I can do it again.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's always my mindset when I'm going through something. Like, pain is pain. Pain is temporarily. I've felt it before, and I got past it before. Anything I ever been through, you know, this is not the first time.
Yeah.
You know,
you can either dwell on it or you can use it as energy to thrust you forward, right?
Yeah, like what they say, you can't cry or spill milk. And I done if I'm gonna put it in a bowl. You know. So.
Well, and the thing that you said, you know, about, you know, your mom having the poker face and with you going around to shelters and stuff like that, but you didn't know.
I did not
right?
know.
And you were still able to have fun as a kid.
What?
And I'm gonna tell you right now, man, like that is. Sometimes it's the perception of our situations, you know, where you see it as like this is this terrible thing, but really when you look around and you, as they say, count your blessings,
Man.
you know, like, and you have the ability to get through anything as long as you keep your eyes out front, not looking at where you're at now.
Right.
It always needs to be like what is in the future.
Right.
You know, I believe in that because I've been at, how old are you?
I'll be 34 in next week.
Yeah, man.
On Wednesday.
So 34, right? And you got to think in that period of time, how long have you been on your own?
Since I was about 18, my mother, she moved back to Charlotte. No, I wasn't 18. I was like 17, 16. With my good friend Devon. My mother, I moved up here when I was about 10 years old. My mother, she got married to my brother's father. So we moved up here, and then she ended up moving back when I was like in 10th grade, and I was like, I'm not starting another school, because I literally, like I said, we moved so much as a child. I went to 5 different elementary schools. Yeah. So I was like, I finally got some friends. You know, I done been here since 5th grade. I finally got some friends.
I'm sticking in.
So I'm like, yeah. So at that time, I was like, I asked my friend Devon, I was like, hey, can I stay here with you and finish school? And he was like, yeah. And mom's gonna move back. I stayed up here, but since then I've been on my own.
Yeah. My only point is you probably have been on your own just as much time as you weren't. Right. So there's a lot to figure out when adulting. It's not easy.
Oh no.
It's really not.
And kids today have a way of letting you know you're doing a bad job. Like, yeah. They have a way of letting you know.
And they hold no punches.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Like it was just like a funny story. But yesterday, we was asking my son, what did he want for dinner or whatever, and then like my youngest daughter wanted her mother to make her famous mac and cheese that she liked so much, and then my son was just like, I ain't like that. Like, and then she was just like, what? Everybody liked it. He was like, not me. You know, like, dude, oh my gosh, here we go. Like, they hold back nothing at all. So I'm like, yeah, that was pretty funny. But
that is funny. Yeah, I haven't had any children, and I'll tell you this right now. I'm the coolest uncle alive, right? And I got my fiance. She's the coolest aunt alive, and no offense to any. As a matter of fact, I think parents, they're probably the most respected people in my opinion, because I watch what you guys go through, and I really couldn't imagine, right? Like it's one of those situations where it's like you don't know until you have one, right? Or four, right? But yeah, my hat's off to you, because it's not just you, and I'm sure that I'm sure your kids, that's a huge, like jet fuel boost on your ass in order to provide the best that you possibly can,
Oh yeah, well, yeah. And it's funny you say that, because the friends that I do have that which is not many of them, that don't have children, but like him, my youngest son, like he loved this guy, like he came, like I said, he came home, and I think my son was like 3 years old when he met him, and I come through the door one day, and he coming with me. He runs right past me, and he open arm with him, and I'm like, but he doesn't have any kids, but he's the best with kids though. Like you were saying, like
he's the cool uncle.
Oh yeah, like I said, my son loved him more than he loved me. He always screamed Uncle Zay.
I mean, growing up, like I see this with any generation, but it's like we never listen to our parents. We listen to the uncles and aunts. We listen to anyone else but our parents. Right. We always think, because we're around them all the time, and I think that's a pretty normal thing. Yeah. Yeah. But I will say this, and I know this for a fact. I know that they got a great dad. As far as you as a human being and somebody who I've gotten the opportunity to spend time with, man, it's always been positive, right? And I always leave every session with you. It's just the last time that we worked together, when you came in, and it was Rob Bizzle, and it was Kobe, yeah. And I just never forget when you just were like, I'll go first, and you got out there, and when you got into the booth and you delivered that verse, I mean, we did like 2 or 3 takes, maybe,
right?
And
I was put on the spot, too.
Yeah, exactly. Like you didn't write a thing down. You just jumped in there, and that song is called $1 Million Dreams. You can look that up on Spotify, but yeah, I just remember you going in, and when you started it, I mean, I was already like a very, very big fan of your music, but I hadn't seen anyone just walk into a studio, hear a track 2 times, and then just be like, all right, I know what I'm gonna do. And like, I've seen people go in and freestyle, and it's like, let me hear that back a couple of times, let me try this. But dude, you already had the cadence, you already had, it was believable. It just you sounded like $1 million. You sounded like a superstar, and you blew me away that day.
I appreciate it. That track is definitely fired. Shout out to Kobe, and that was my first time being what's his name?
Rob Buster.
Rob Buster, yeah. That was like, I ain't gonna lie, like I know he speaks and say my verse was fire. It was. But that guy, I meet him for the first time, like when you looking at him and seeing his image, like I'm like, he was like, I'm about to go spend he went in there like he does this. He do this. Like, I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
He was fired. That whole track is definitely fire. But I definitely I never got to meet him again. So maybe you can make that happen.
Oh, I definitely can make it happen.
He's definitely fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love his sound, his delivery. Like, he definitely, you can tell he does this.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And that's Rob Buster. And I will, if I have any links from him, I'll put that in the description too, just to kind of promote everybody,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, South Carolina, are you saying that you have moved there, or are moving there, or are you back?
I'm back. I'm back for the moment.
Okay.
I can talk a little more about it. My phone died. Yeah, I'm back for the moment. I can say. I still got a lot to figure out, you know. And I hate that my mind space is a little bit everywhere.
Yeah.
Cause more so trying to please more other people than myself. Like I always fall a victim of that, you know. Cause I as a human being don't like to genuinely hurt someone, or it's more so always accidentally. Cause I've never had bad intentions to hurt anyone. You know? So, that's where my mindset is. Like I'm kind of like in between some things that I just don't know how to handle emotionally, you know. So still trying to figure it out, but I'm trying to stay positive with it all. As far as, you know, I'm more focused on just being a parent to my children, you know, and doing everything the right way, and just praying and hoping, you know, with the right energy that's everything else gonna align in with it if I'm focusing on doing the right thing, you know.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, I'll tell you what, man, it is great to have been able to sit down with you. I mean, it's been awesome. I'm definitely gonna have you on again, and next time I see you, we should do kind of a double. We should do a podcast and a studio session.
I'm definitely down for it. Like I'm definitely down for it, because like I said, like I've been trying to, it's some stuff that I've been trying to get with you with, but like I said, I haven't really been too pressed with getting back in the studio. But I really honestly been trying to do like this podcast thing, you know. So seeing you do it, I know you went to the comedy for a little bit.
Oh, I'm still doing it.
Are you still doing it?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, but the podcast, like I've been wanting to do that for a while, you know, because I'm a guy, like I understand a lot, you know, like when conversation wise, like
sure.
And I'm you know how they like to say, a sympathy and not an empathizer. I empathize, you know, so I always put myself in other situation shoes, you know. So that's probably one of the negative things about me is that I always understand, you know, and you know how some people are so one-sided, they don't want you to understand that. So I'm always like, when someone comes to me having conversations or want my advice, I don't just tell them what they want to hear.
I can tell you right now, that's the most positive thing about you. Like to me, that is the most positive attribute that a person can have, is when I get asked, you know, for advice, not only do I try to see it through their lens, but I try to see it through the opposite lens, right? Yeah. Because I think great ideas come from both sides, right? You got to be able to separate the two,
right?
And you got to be able to figure out what's the actual end goal, right? And that's the way that I try to live my life too. Is if I do this, the consequences are going to be this. But the end result, I may end up getting X, Y, and Z, right? Like, life is a math equation that just never stops.
So a lot of people, like, they just like to, like, focus on the middle, like, not what really, how did it start and how did it end, you know? So, like, they try to skip over everything that happened in between. Well, you did this and I did that. It was like, what's the whole root cause, you know? Like, what's the root cause of it all? You know, like once you can get to the boil down to the root cause and get some understanding, like a lot of stuff, like, you know, the world today, like, it's really based, a lot of people move off of not instant but emotions nowadays, you know. So like it's really just how I felt at that moment was my reaction, you know. And
sure,
that's not always good, you know. Like sometimes you just take your emotions out of you and see you about to make an irrational move, you know, or you about to say something irrational at this moment without thinking, just because how you feel. Like, just because you feel it's right don't mean it's right, you know. So I'm like, when people come to me and ask me for advice, I'm usually gonna, you know what I'm saying, well, like, for instance, hey, you think such and such did this to me. I was like, well, what did you do to such and such? You know, and then, you know, it's always, I didn't do nothing but. It's always a but. You
Absolutely.
know? So,
yeah. And that's even if you get the full story.
That's right.
That's the one thing I never kid myself with, is that I'm getting the full story, right? Especially if someone's asking for advice, because a lot of times people just want to feel good about their decision. Right.
And that's what they come to ask you for advice for. You know, they just want to see if you're going to agree with them, you know. And no, I'm not. Like, that's why me and my guys, like, we have a group chat. Like, we be hard on each other. Like, you do some dumb stuff, we're gonna let you know you're doing something dumb. You're not doing something that you need to be taking care of. We're gonna let you know. We might say it in a funny, joking manner or one like that. We might cook your ass, you know. Like, we don't hold back. Like, in our group chat, like, we definitely hold each one of us accountable, you know, and responsible for our actions, you know. So, like, that's why I have a good group, you know. It ain't many of us, but the same ones that you met. But
yeah,
like, we definitely, we doing something dumb, we gonna let each other know, you know. So, like, even when it come down to our pockets, you know, like, we all got children. We see you doing some other stuff, like, bro, what are you doing, you know? Like, I tell my friends all the time, if I call you and ask you what you're doing, if you're not telling me you're taking care of kids or you at work, I don't want to talk to you. Like, you know, like, if you got kids, take care of your kids, you know. Take care of your responsibility. And I think my group of friends, like, all of us are great fathers. We go out all the time with the kids. Like, we try to get with each other and get all the kids together all the time. We do stuff like that. You know, stuff like you pay attention to when you're younger, you know, like, or your group of your siblings and your friends and stuff, y'all used to hang out, you know. But nowadays, it's up to the parents to make that happen.
Yeah.
Because just letting them run around in the streets today is
it's not an option.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely not. Definitely not. But it sounds like you're taking care of your responsibilities, and you know, you've been a dad since I've known you, but I got to tell you, you know, and just the way that you talk about, you know, your kids, and, you know, just even the way you talked about your mom. I know that you got a lot of love in you for your family, right? And you got a lot of love for your kids. And I know that, you know, there's just no doubt in my head that, you know, continuing down this path, when we have another conversation in 6 months, you're going to be like, everything is working out exactly the way I planned it.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, like, my friends, they tell me all the time, like, even when, like, this is, like I say, I don't like to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Even when I got custody of my children, I was asking my friends, did I do the right thing? Like, because I felt like I was hurting the mother, and anything that hurts my kids hurts me.
Sure.
So if I was watching, seeing the effect it had on them, you know, and it was like, I'm asking them, like, hey, I know I did the right thing, but did I really do the right thing? Like, I really feel like I just took kids away from my mother, even though I know I just won the custody battle, but it just felt like it was just killing me. So I'm like, my kids' face, like, they, in their eyes, they never going to see their mother again. You know, I know that's not true, you know, but I was just watching and seeing their reaction, and it was killing me for a while. Like, even today, like, my son, like, can I call my mom, you know, like, stuff like that. And I was like, I'll let you call her later, like, things like that. But it still make me feel like I was doing the wrong thing, you know, even though everything she drugged me through, and she have no problem with tarnishing my name and my image. I just cannot rebuttal the same way.
Right.
I cannot do the same or treat her the same way, because anything, like I said, anything that hurts my kids is going to hurt me, you know. So,
well, I can say this is, you know, not knowing the full story or the full situation, I think that the focus doesn't need to be on who you hurt or who you don't hurt. You're putting your kids first, it sounds like.
Always.
You know what I mean?
Always.
And at the end of the day, if you can live with any decision you make as long as you're putting those kids first.
Right.
So, and that would only be, I know you're not asking for my advice, but from the outside looking in, I think that, you know, any father that's going to fight like hell for their kids and is going to put them first, they're in the best hands that they could be. You know what I mean?
And that's what my friends always, they kept reminding me, like, bro, you're doing good. You did a great thing. You've been. It's been a long fight. You finally won. I'm like, yeah, I just felt like I didn't. But when I finally like got home and then settled in, and I'm seeing like all 4 of my children sitting in the living room, you know, and I'm just like sitting back in the kitchen. I'm just looking at them like
nothing like it.
Nothing like it, man.
Yep.
It was nothing like it. Like, it was the best feeling. It really was. But
well, I'm really happy that you got that now.
Yeah,
that's great. Well, FediiMillz, find him on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, I'm sure.
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. The tag is everywhere. It's just FediiMillz.
Absolutely. Definitely look him up. Like I said, I'm a big fan of his music. He's awesome. So definitely give him a try. Give him a couple plays, because I know what I'm going to be listening to tonight, and that's some FediiMillz. So thank you so much for being on the podcast, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Great to see you.
Great to see you, bro.
All right. Thank y'all so much. Have a great night.